the one issue that we're seeing a lot is that a lot of people who are lawful permanent residents, LPRs, right, green card holders, they've been out of the country for over a year. And this policy has been constantly changing.
CBP is sick and tired of hearing COVID.
Right.
That is no longer an excuse. It's just not enough anymore. 2020 was a different story. 2021 was a different story. And so from the standpoint of the law, another thing I tell everybody, as a legal permanent resident, you have a heightened sense of security. The laws also protect you in ways much different than when you were a visa holder. They cannot remove your green card status from you.
Unlike a visa, where they
Correct.
have the authority to cancel your visa, send you back to the consulate. CBP, what they can do is confiscate the green card.
Correct.
And then send you to a judge. Have you seen that recently?
So it's really case by case. They're very, very sensitive to LPRs using their green card as a visa, meaning that they come in for a week, 2 weeks, a month, are gone for as long as possible, come in and do it over and over and over, right? Because CBP has that record every time you fly in, right? They're always going to see your entries and exits.
Is there a difference between different types of CBP officers, right? Different airports?
Oh, absolutely. If you're at a port of entry, let's say LAX, by the time somebody flies in, they've already been screened 1,000 different ways. So they're really not going to be dealing with, you know, everything under the sun. Whereas a land border, whether it's the northern border or the southern border, if they can get to that border, physically walk up and ask to be readmitted, they're going to have to be, those CBP officers, dealing with far more concerns of national security, concerns of, you know, all of the things that we're told they're screening for, drugs and contrabands and things of that nature. Are there better ports of entries than others? Sure, but that changes, right? It could be a training issue, and we get that a lot where, like in any job, if you have newer officers who haven't seen an issue before, they may take a harder approach, a more conservative approach. They may put you in secondary and you may wait forever. Additionally, let's say you're flying in on a Sunday morning at 2 a.m. All right, who's gonna be working those shifts? Is that gonna be
a new officer or a local officer, right? Seasoned
Correct.
officer.
Correct.
I'm gonna complicate the matter a little bit more.
Please do.
Because it's not just CBP at the national level, at the local level. There's also the airlines talking to their own direct CBP officers. And you know what? All 3 CBP officers are giving different answers.
You could play music differently, 3 different ways, by accenting certain notes and coming back off certain notes, crescendos and kind of being quiet at different sections. It's the same music, but it could be played very differently. So in the same way, you're having different people kind of within the chain, where some are more conservative, maybe some are a little bit more open-minded or a little bit more progressive. If we were to screen in a very conservative way across the board, CBP, not only would these wait times and these airports be so jammed up for hours and days on end, but our likely entire economy would crash to a, you know, grind to a halt. I think that discretion and that flexibility that they give out to their, you know, various outposts around the country is good policy, is good practice, because although there is almost a floor, there's no ceiling, meaning these are the bedrock rules that we need to abide by. But on a case-by-case situation, we'll give you the discretion to make those determinations. From the standpoint of business, from the standpoint of making so you and I, as American citizens, aren't waiting in a customs line for 4 or 5 hours every time we come back in. You almost have to pick and choose your battles.
How does race play into this?
Love it. Love, great question.
This case is completely impossible, but we did it, and we're gonna show you how. Let's go.